What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about the three phases of the market. Realistically, the market has only three options, so if you figure out which option you're in, you can have a much more likelihood of being profitable in your trading. What do I mean by this? Don't worry, it's going to be extremely overwhelming, but you will need to take notes. So if you're not going to be taking notes, get yourself a notepad, Excel, the notepad on your phone, something. Take notes because you're going to watch this video all the way through. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, if you don't know about the stock market, crypto market, finance, how to make money, laugh, look at somebody that's very good looking like myself, subscribe to the channel. Now let's talk about what do I mean by the stock market is only three phases, and how do I know which phase you're in, and how can I trade based on what phase I am in the current market. Don't worry, I'll be breaking everything down into this video. Let's first go over what are the three phases of the stock market. Alright guys, so let's talk about what are these infamous three phases of the market I keep talking about. Well, the market will only have three phases. Number one is expansion. What do I mean by expansion? What does that mean? If you, like the naming tells, expansion is the phase of the market where the market is pushing towards the overall direction, or where the market is having an impulsive wave, an impulsive move towards one direction. This can be both up and down. Don't think that this only applies if the market going up, but it could also mean if the market is going down. So this will be your big waves that you see up, your big momentum, right? When you see in a bull market and a bear market, in the macro sense, you're in an expansion phase. So this can be both up as well as it can be down. Number two, it will be pullback. Pullback again can be both up or down depending on the overall expansion phase, and the pullback will be a counter trend. The pullback means that if the market is going up, right, and the overall trend is up, the moves down, right, this moves down on the way up, this and this will be the pullbacks. The pullback means the overall direction is up, for example, but you're in the current stage of the market where you're pulling back. People are taking profits, you're selling it off, buyers are going to be stepping in, buying it for a discount, and then pushing it higher. Again, this pullback can be both on the bullish side and on the bearish side. Let me show you. For example, you're in a bearish trend, the pullbacks will be on the way up, right? So like this, but the overall momentum, if you look at it, is going to be down, while the overall will be up. Now this should be pretty self-explanatory, and then the third will be, can you guess? Leave it out in the comment down below. I've mentioned before, if you watch the live streams over on Twitch, make sure you go right now. Guys, right now, you're not making money on Trade Me Live and see how a professional trader trades. Go right now, twitch.com/BigGainsClub. Fucking, it's free. Go subscribe, come watch me trade live, come hang out with us. Go do it right now. Click for the video, I'll wait 5 seconds for you, and then come back, keep watching this. Number three will be a consolidation phase. Consolidation, now this is where most trader, right, we call the chop, right, sideways, whatever you want to call it, consolidation is what I like to call it, is that phase that you have inserted in it. It's going sideways. Where is it going to go? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Nobody knows. But there's ways to find out how to know. Don't worry, we'll go over them. Don't worry. Chill out. Sit down, relax. So we'll first go over expansion, pullback, consolidation. I'm going to show you some examples on the charts. It's the best way to learn. So let's look at actually a trade that I took today. This is going to be a trade that I understood where we were in the market right now. This is going to be in a 5-minute time frame. You guys see this 5 here? This 5 right here means that you're in a 5-minute time frame, and this right here is the ticker that you're in. That means we're looking at triple Q, QQQ, and this Vesco QQQ Trust on a 5-minute time frame. Very fucking simple, right? So now I took a trade to the long side off of this. So can you guess, just quick looking at this, can you guess what stage of market you think I was in? If we see this, right, you should be looking, the long legs, the long waves are the expansion phase. The small leg must have been, we were in the pullback phase, correct? Yes, it is. Very, very simple, right? And then here, if you look, where do we start going sideways? It was right here. This would have been a consolidation phase. So I knew, right, in my daily bets for the day, if we started off on a 4-hour time frame, I was feeling bullish for the day. Why I was feeling bullish for the day? It's going to be a little bit irrelevant. It's not going to be really related to what we're talking about, but I'll just break it down real quick so you guys know. So this is the liquidity under here, is the liquidity. Total chat, if we close on an hourly, take this low out and then close above it, we're going to be bullish. So in the pre-market we were bullish, so I knew that my trend was probably more than likely going to be up. Now I see a first phase. I see a first phase of a push up. So I know I got my expansion phase. If I'm feeling bullish for the day, the expansion needs to be to the upside. The strong move up, it's been the upside. Then what I'm waiting for, okay, we got to move up, and now we're getting a pullback here, right? A lot of guys be like, oh my god, You know, we're gonna go short. This is gonna tank. It's gonna take out the low today. But I understand knowing this. This is just a pullback phase. So the pullback phase means it's a little small leg down. I'm gonna go higher, right? Or so I'm hoping. My analysis is I'm gonna go higher. That's what I'm assuming. So I'm looking for where is a good entry to look for a long position. On this entry, we exactly enter on this candle right here, roughly around this entry, targeting roughly around this level. Stop loss real tight below this test, right? A very beautiful 1 to 5 risk reward. Really beautiful trade, safe stop loss, nice, easy, never hit drawdown. You guys can see our entry, then we just rocketed on up, and then we just kept going higher. Right, so not understanding that. Now, how did I come up to this? If I didn't understand what phase of the market I was in, I could have thought this was the expansion. If I think this expansion is down, I'm going to look for short positions, and as you guys can see, I would have gotten clapped. So understand that we were in a pullback, right? We'll call it pull, and then it means that my next phase is going to be another expansion. And if the pullback is the downside, that means I'm looking for a long position, right, guys? We're looking for a long position. Now, how can I look for a long position? I'm looking for a liquidity area. So I'm looking for liquidity area. This candlestick here below it, take out the low, close above it. Very similar. Remember how I said the same thing with a 4 hour? This is a liquidity area. Take out the previous low, but close above it. If you close above it, that told me more than likely it was going to be push higher. Not only that, now I got my tool, my Fibonacci tool, right? My Fibonacci retracement tool. I draw it up, and guess where we are? From bottom to up in the expansion phase, right? And understanding where the expansion phase was, guys, and the pullback phase will be very beneficial when you're using your Fibonacci. Because I see a lot of people, right, drawing Fibonacci fucking from nowhere. I'm like, where the fuck are you drawing this Fibonacci? They don't know what the fuck they're drawing them. But understanding where the expansion started and it ended, you can draw Fibonacci. So you see, where do we close? Above our key level, the golden pocket. So get it. Liquidity level get taken, close above the golden pocket. Easy. Pull back into the next expansion. Even if this didn't go my way, tight stop loss, small losses, big wins. And that's what we did. We won big today. You guys see how understanding what phase of the market I was in gave me an edge. Because at the end of the day, what you're looking for in the market is not to be 100% right. If you're trying to get in the market and trying to be right 100% of the time, I'm sorry, it's impossible. The best I've gotten, I think my win rate is best I've gotten like 94, 95% on a really good month, like in 90s, never in the hundreds. I've had weeks in the hundreds, but never overall. So you are looking for an edge, and the edge will give you a leg up to understand what parts of the market you're in. You understand what phase of the market you're in, which is more than likely to make money. It's very simple, guys. It's simple stuff. You understand where you are in the market. It's like understanding Google Maps, right? If you know, hey, I am X and Y Z street. I know what street I'm in. I need to get to this place. I have an edge because I know where my starting point is, right? So it's more easy for me versus somebody that doesn't even know where they are. So if you know where you are in the market, it's going to be a lot easier for you to get to where you need to get to, which is the money, right? We're all in it for the money, right? No? Well, that's what I'm in it for, right? We're all in it for the money. So now, these are the way that I like to use the pullback and expansion phase. Now, this is going to be, again, what time zone you're in, right? If we look at this time zone, where can we see, what is the expansion phase? Remember we just saw the expansion phase was the upside? Now you see the expansion phase is to the downside. Look at this. Big move down, right? So now if I know, right, if I go to the 1 hour, I'm like, man, we had a big expansion to the downside. We took out a major lead, we're on major support. What am I looking for? A pullback, more than likely, to a key area, right? A pullback, and then another expansion to the downside. So again, on the daily, having a daily bias, understanding where we are of the market phases, I know where I need to get to. Now, those are going to be the expansion and the pullback phase. How do we know what is the consolidation phase? The consolidation phase is a phase where your highs and the lows are about equal. So let me show you an example. The highs and the lows will be roughly around here. This is going to be in a, let me go to settings and then not extend it to the right, so it's easier. It's already to see. You guys can see that this is going to be on a 4 hour, for example. Where is the market going? It's not expanded to the top side. It pulled back. It did not have another expansion. See how the expansion, the secondary, where you say, okay, pull back, it's going to expand to the top side. You closed back into this. You closed at equal highs. What you do here? You're like maybe expansion to the downside. No, yeah. Look at the next low. The next low equal lows, right? Next high equal highs. So now, how do you trade such? How do you trade a sideways action like this? The sideways action is always going to be a lot more tricky, and is where traders get chopped up. That's when you see that price movement that you don't know exactly where the price is heading towards. This is where you need to be safe. Easy way to trade this is very easy. Stay in the range, right? Buy here, sell here, sell here until it doesn't work. The way I like to trade it is wait for the expansion move, right? So the expansion move, you cannot predict the expansion move. It may just happen, right? So here it happened, the expansion move, and then you could look for pullbacks to get in back into the expansion to the downside, or or trade the pullbacks. You can see here we had a really nice 4-hour gap that you could trade it for the pullback. Analyze, okay, expanded to the downside with a big impulsive move to the downside. This should be a high area of support. All right, to the next gap here, and then expansion again, pullback again, expansion again, pullback, expansion, pullback, expansion, pullback. You guys see that most of the times the expansion pullbacks are gonna be your most likely scenario, until right you get the major reversal, which ends your expansion and pullbacks to the downside, and then you start making expansion pullbacks to the upside, and then whoa, and then that happens, and then what happens again? You go to another consolidation phase. You guys can see here there's another interesting consolidation phase, and then you keep going. So understanding where you are in the market, guys, if you know your consolidation phase, right, should you be taking larger positions? Simple yes, simple no. Probably no, right? You're like, it's kind of choppy, it's a tight market, I'll take my quick wins, right? And that's when you know, hey, I'm in a consolidation phase, do not let, I take PT sooner, close stop loss sooner. That's why sometimes you see me close my stop loss at real tight stop loss, boom, alright, I'm out, guys, waiting. While sometimes you're like, hey, I can give this a little room because I think we're in an expansion phase, we're gonna push higher, right? So that's why you see me either give more room or tighter room for my trades, depending on how it is. And then again, it's always going to come with experience, guys. You can look at the market, and if this just looks like, hey, Antonio, this just to me looks candles, just looks nothing, not telling me anything. It comes with what, hours and hours of looking at the charts. I can show you exactly what an expansion looks like, and you're like, okay, makes sense. But then when you're on your own, you will not see it because you don't have the same eye that I do. For example, you see Steph Curry shoot 3, you're like, okay, you just freaking flick his wrist, easy. You go do it. It's not as easy, right? So understand the 3 market phases you're in, guys. Remember, 3 phases: expansion, pullback, consolidation. As always, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. If you're getting the description, you're trading my live every single day. Links down below. Alright? As always, I'll see you on Twitch. Hey, I'll see you on Twitch. Peace out.